Life's best moments are best captured by photography and video. You may ask, why photography and video? Because if a photo is worth 1,000 words, video is worth 1,000,000. And GPS photography and video will leave you speechless. GPS specializes in weddings, sports, fitness, and so much more. Book your next shoot today at 910-257-0526 or gpsphotoandvideo.com.
Welcome back to the second hour of the Amazon's podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's fitness magazine, Celebrate the Female Physique. Subscribe to amazonsfitmag.com. And of course, our title sponsor, Maximus Posing Suits. Let your inner warrior shine. Custom competition suits for victory on every stage. MaximusPosingSuits.com. And of course, GPS photography and video. Why? Photography and video, because of a photo is worth 1,000 words. Video is worth 1,000,000. My guest, and IFBB women's bodybuilder pro should be 2023 Arnold Amateur Overall Champion, owner of HeyYourNuts.com, Nina Amporful.
Yes, hi.
Did I say that correct?
You sure did.
Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate you. You're down there in hot Atlanta.
Very hot Atlanta right now.
Yeah, it was 91 here in North Carolina today, just to let you know. So I don't know how hot you guys were. So talk to me about what should have been. You should have had your pro card. The Arnold Amateurs of 2023. Lay it on me.
Bittersweet. So bittersweet. I'm over it now. I'm just kidding. So 2023 was a hard year for me, especially coming out of Olympia prep. It was hard because there's not a lot of starting shows for like women's bodybuilders for pro cards.
Right.
So the Arnold's first, of course, and then I think the second, which was either USA's or something, they didn't have women's bodybuilding. So I would have had to wait a while, like to go for my pro card again. And feeling so close at Olympia Amateur, I was just like, I have to do it. Mm-hmm. So we decided to do Arnold Amateur, and it was a hard prep because I think in between time, I had 8 or 10 weeks. And so coming off a stage, it was just like a large gap, and I've never done back-to-back shows before. So it was wild. But we made it to the Arnold, and I actually won the Arnold. But since there was a conflict with the number of girls that were on stage, they decided not to offer a pro card to women's bodybuilding. As it was it's not already hard for women's bodybuilders to get a pro card in general. But anywho, I was a little bit confused about that because entering the show, I knew I should have looked it up, but I wasn't even aware that that was a thing.
Right.
Especially after watching like so many national shows with categories that had like one girl in it that was awarded a pro card and stuff. So I just didn't think that it was a thing. And one of the girls actually that was competing with me questioned like, oh, are they going to hand out a pro card because there's not enough of us?
Right.
Now, the only thing with that bothered me was it wasn't that there wasn't enough girls. The girls that had signed up just didn't show up.
Yeah.
So
that being the case, if they were signed up, well, my opinion is they should have gave it to you. But anyway,
you know what? We on the same page. I think that too. Yeah. But
how long was the prep?
Like they didn't have them. I think it was 10 weeks.
Wow.
10 weeks.
That,
So I was
that's tough.
already on. It was a long time.
Yeah. I get it.
It
It
was
was
a long time.
2023. Let's let it go. But now looking forward into 2024, what are you looking at doing? Are you going to compete this year?
So I actually do not plan on competing this year.
Okay.
I took a step back because I have been having like gut issues that have been hindering my previous preps. So just so it won't be as hard next time I prep, we
Right.
decided to take this year off to correct those issues. That way, entering next year, like, will be so much better for me.
And that's the best way to go. Don't go till you're ready. And that's important. So
Exactly.
we're gonna see you in 2025, right?
You will definitely see me in 2025.
All
Any
right.
statements?
Good stuff.
I'm
Let's manifest
excited.
on that and make it happen.
Exactly.
So you have an interesting job.
I
Um,
do.
you are is it stewardess or flight attendant?
Yes.
What's
Or
the
as
right
my
title?
dad would call it, an air hostess.
Oh, there
Everybody
you
had
go. An air hostess. I like that.
an air hostess.
So I'm not gonna mention the airline, but
Mhm.
tell me a story. You walking down with the cart, and you've seen all the video all over the place where all these people are just cutting a fool on the airlines. And speaking of which, Memorial Day weekend coming up. This is a big fly weekend.
Gosh.
Tell me
Yeah.
a story.
So I have been lucky to not have anybody crazy on my
Right.
flight, not towards me. Most of the things that that happen on my flight are usually medical situations.
Okay.
Those are the craziest things. Um, Other than that, like I had two teenagers break into like a fight on the plane, like with each
Oh,
other. That was interesting.
how did you handle that? Did you like
I
rip?
didn't.
Did you Hulk out?
I didn't.
Right.
They were actually like part of teams, so their coaches broke them up. But
Right.
as situations like that happen, usually the protocol is like you can't fly. We will kick people off that plane in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Never can ban to
act
fly again.
accordingly. Listen, yes, yes, but people do. It's so crazy. It's like people lose all types of sense when they step into the airport, and it just translates to the plane too.
Right. So I mean, when you're coming down and you're giving out the peanuts or whatever, extra pillows, you're shredded, you know, what's the response that you get back?
I
I mean, do
usually
you
try to
show
cover
arms,
up.
don't show arms?
I usually try to I usually try to cover up because mostly it's like the vascularity. I don't
Mhm.
tend to like working in the back because I just don't feel comfortable pushing around the cart in the air. I mean, I will do it, but at the end of the day, like you just never know what can happen. And injuries happen so quickly with turbulence and stuff. So I
Mhm.
prefer first class. Um, so usually I'll be like handing somebody a drink and they're like staring at
Mhm.
my arms because all the veins and stuff. So it's really funny. So I try to like when I'm that close, I try to like put on my sweater just to avoid because people and then people like to touch without asking. Like people just start
Oh,
reaching for
yes.
your arms and it gets real awkward.
Yeah, just slap
It
the hell
gets
out of 'em and
real
keep it moving.
awkward. Exactly. Don't touch your flight
Mm,
attendant.
there you go. Well, you got a huge perk because you can fly for free, right?
Depending on where I'm going. So domestic
Okay.
is pretty much free. International, I would have to pay the taxes, which doesn't usually come out to much.
Mhm.
My family's from Ghana, so to fly to Ghana is like 130
Mhm.
just to go
$130
to my parents.
round trip.
Hmm.
Wow, nice. And then of
I
course,
know.
if you flying to a show like flying into Columbus, it was free, right?
Yeah, it was free to fly to Columbus.
Okay. What's the rule? Because you do compete.
Yeah,
Is it always
so the
free
rule
or
is like
Mhm,
no. So with that, if I'm not accepting like money, if it's
mhm.
not like a business transaction, then I can fly for free. But once I become pro and it becomes like a business transaction, that's when I would have to like pay. But
Oh, wow.
nice enough, they make like they have this thing where we get discount
Mhm.
tickets. So we
Okay.
just pay a discounted price for the ticket. So it's still not full price. So I'm still like benefiting anyway. So I mean, it's still a win-win.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
is.
like transportation is probably one of the biggest things, like transportation, hotel, all
Yeah.
of that when it comes to like doing a show, especially that's not in your
Mhm.
town or city. So
Yeah, that's a big time perk you have. And then, of course,
yeah,
they fly you to the Olympia for free, right?
yes, I will
And
be
I'm
there.
and I'm gonna say this now. When you're in Atlanta
Uh-huh.
Pro,
Exactly.
just saying, you got that's your timeline, that's your route right there. You already ready to
You
go.
already know what I'm going to watch.
There you go.
I really wanted to be in New York last weekend, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna chill.
Give me your thoughts on the New York Pro. What do you think? Ashley Jones.
I'm so proud of her. So
Mhm,
I've actually watched Ashley since she was figure, and I've always been like amazed by her legs.
mhm.
And so just to see her like come in and dominate, I just like love it because I feel like a lot of people look um, like they fit in the category, but they don't want to go over to the category. I know I was
Right.
hesitant on going over to women's bodybuilding before Drea like won her title. Like I was
Right.
also hesitant of switching over, but it's probably one of the best switches that I've made.
Tell me about that conversation. Andrea Shaw. See, here's the thing of telling people to move up from Angela Yo, Ashley Jones. What was her conversation with you?
So I actually did not have a conversation with her about that.
Okay.
I met her afterwards. I'm trying to think of where I went to. They did a women's workshop
Mhm.
in Vegas. It was like the first annual with all the pros and Sandy. And it was basically just it was like a posing workshop, like trying to help us get ready for for shows. And I knew of Drea, but I had never met her. And so I think that was the first
Mhm.
time that I ever met her. What made me switch, I've always had people in the past say, like, oh, no, you're a bodybuilder. Oh, you're a
Mhm.
bodybuilder. And I just never really knew what that meant. I never saw it for myself. And I honestly still didn't even see it for myself until Olympia Amateur. Um, my coach will tell you, like, I stepped off a stage and I was so nervous. I didn't see like any of the footage, and my friends were like sending me a video, and my mom sent me a video, and I was watching the video, and I just started crying, and I was like, "Is that me?" I just couldn't believe it was me. I just never saw it for myself. So I went to, I think this was 2020. This might have been
Mhm.
early 2020. I had gone to Sid Gillian's posing workshop, and so that was like
Okay.
the first posing workshop I had ever gone to. Um, and they allowed us to ask questions just basically about like competing in different categories and stuff. And I already had the thought in the back of my head, especially after seeing that was the first year after seeing Dre at the Olympia the previous year.
Mhm.
So I saw I'm like, okay, this is the prototype, and I'm like, I can do this. That's achievable. Like I loved her shape, like I loved everything about her. And so I was
Mhm.
just like, all right, when I go to this posing workshop, I'm just gonna ask. I'm just gonna inquire a little bit, like see what they think. And so it's so funny to me because I feel like everybody looks big in pictures
Mhm.
until you meet them in person, and then you're like, oh wow, like you're not as big as I thought you were. And so I was looking at some of the girls, and I was just like, wow, maybe I am big.
Mhm.
I was just like, okay, maybe I can't like maybe I do have like a chance at it. So I actually spoke to Sid's mom and her dad, and I was just like, how do you feel about this? Like, what do you think
Mhm.
about this? what do you think about like me going into women's bodybuilding? Do you think it's something that's possible? And they were just like, you'll be surprised once you stand next to certain people to see like how much you compare. And so after that, I was just like, all right, well, let's see, let's do it. And
What was
so
your
that's what
stage
brought me
weight at the what was your stage weight at the Arnold's?
there. I think I was 175.
Okay. Yeah,
I
you
think,
women's bodybuilder.
and I'm 5'5" because I know people are gonna
Oh
ask.
yeah.
I'm
Nice.
5'5". Yes, but yeah, 175. I was actually heavier for the Arnold than I was for Olympia Amateur. I think
Mhm.
Olympia Amateur. I was 170.
And I think Ashley's like 5'1". So I mean, nice.
Yes,
That's good stuff.
right.
That's great. So just talk to me about your business. HeyYou'reNuts.com. And I think it's great
Yes,
to see entrepreneurs that happen to be women's bodybuilders, because that's an easy way to support them is go online to
oh, absolutely,
HeyYou'reNuts.com and buy them.
exactly. Go get some nut butter.
There you go. How did
So
you start it?
I started it actually because of a prep. So I've always had
Mm.
peanut butter. Peanut butter is my first love, even though I love like my nut butter. I love peanut
Uh-huh.
butter. Um, and so peanut butter was not on my prep. On my plan, I had a coach
Mm-hmm.
give me almond butter, and I had never had almond butter before.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my friend Sam, she loves to chef. That's what I always call it. She loves to cook, so she had gotten a blender, and so she was making me nut butter, and I was just like, "Oh, this is so much better than what's in the store." And so
Mm-hmm.
after a while, she was like, "You have to make it yourself. I'm tired of making your almond butter." So I bought the same like blender, and I started making almond butter. And if you know me, if you follow me on Instagram, I always have a sweet tooth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in prep. I can't have anything that I want. I was just like, dang, like I wonder if I can make this like a flavor. So I think my first flavor of nut butter was apple pie.
Okay.
And so it really held me over like in my prep. And I was giving them to my sisters. And my
Mm-hmm.
sister was just like, this is good. You should sell this. So like my older
Okay.
sister is actually she does startup businesses, website, web
Great
design, like
plan. Yeah, it all just fell together.
exactly. So she's like, I'm making you a website. And
Mm-hmm.
so she made me a website. I got like LLC license, and
Mm-hmm.
then that was that. I started to sell it and come up with like different flavors and stuff, and it's just evolved since then. I think since 2018,
Mm-hmm.
which is
And
crazy.
LLC is definitely the way to go.
Yes.
I'm an LLC with GPS photography and video.
Mhm.
And one of the things in teaching the class at the high school is like, yeah, you may pay more taxes, and then the partnership, and then the partner sues you.
Mhm.
So to me, and everybody's got to figure out what they want. You could go with sole proprietorship, but for
Yeah.
me, LLC. So yeah,
Yes, I like
good job.
LLC
Good
as
on you.
well. Thank you. Thank you. Just write everything
Yeah.
off.
There you, thank you. Case
It's a
in
business
point, I'm about to write this podcast off. Wh- you know what? Hey, this is business. This is a
this
business
is a
meeting.
business meeting.
There you go. What's your top selling product?
So it's between two. It depends
Hmm.
on where I am. So my favorite is banana nut. It's like
Okay.
I call it my mixed nut butter. So it's a mixture of almond butter and pecan butter. And then it's flavored, of course, with natural extracts and spices. And then I mix walnuts in it to give it that banana nut feel. And it is so good. That one's my
Hmm.
absolute favorite. That one does well at pretty much every pop up I go to. That one and my cashew butter. So I have
Nice.
a salted caramel cashew that everybody loves. It's not one of my favorites, but it is really good. And usually when I go do pop up shops at gyms, that's like
Hmm.
their number one. That's the one that goes the quickest.
Nice. And how
Mhm.
much does it cost? Usually, what is it, like 12-ounce jar, 6-ounce jar?
So I do a 8-ounce jar, and I also do a 16-ounce. The 8-ounce for most of your almond butter and pecan butter, it ranges from 12 to 13. When we get to cashews are a little bit more expensive. So my plain cashew is 15, and then all of the flavors are 16. For the 16-ounce for cashews, it turns into 30 to $32, and then for the 16-ounce of the almond butter, it either goes 24 to 20, or 20 to 24.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
How
so
has
not,
it gone? No, I love it.
Yes.
How has it gone when you set up a booth at a bodybuilding show? Does it do better there, or does it do better at gyms, or just?
Both. It does very well. I actually usually set up at the Titan show annually. That is also in Atlanta, but I think that I set up there June 8th this year, June 8th.
Okay.
And so it usually does pretty well. Usually my pop-ups always do well. I think the only place that I never did well at was it was like a music festival.
Okay.
And for some reason, everybody tried to wear it.
Wait, try to wear it?
Yeah, you know, like people sell body butter. So they would say, "Oh, this is butter," and I'm like, "Yes." And
did they throw it on his feet?
Yeah, and I was just like, "What is going on?"
I mean, I guess I could see an appeal in the bedroom, maybe later, but I mean, I don't know about skin lotion. They thought I don't know. I guess
Exactly.
they thought you were just selling cocoa butter or something, I guess.
I guess they did.
Yeah. How do you get around those that may have a nut allergy, or just can't partake at all?
They can't partake at all. So I have a pine nut allergy, and I actually carry a EpiPen with me. So that's not fun.
Right.
So I just advise, if you do have a nut allergy, then don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't do it. I don't mix the butters into different containers, but I mean, you just never know. They're all like still closely in the same area, and being in the hospital is not fun. So
no, it's not. So what kind of allergy do you have again?
Pine nuts.
Pine nuts.
Okay. Yes, I found out at a restaurant.
Oh, not good.
It wasn't pretty. It was not.
How long
pretty.
did it set you back for? A couple of days in the hospital, or?
Probably about three days.
Wow.
So the first time that it happened, I did not know what was going on. I had a stomach ache. I was just like, we got to get out of here. Next thing you know, I'm looking in the mirror, scratching my eyes, and they're like, "You seen Hitch?" It was. It happened exactly like that. So it started to close. Like, oh.
Man, not good.
Yeah, and then my face was so swollen for like 3 to 4 days. I didn't go anywhere.
Jeez. That's tough. So are you going to set up a booth at the Sid Gillian Classic this weekend?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Are you going to go?
Well, I'm actually not going to be in town.
Okay.
I'm not going to be in town. I know, I'm going to have to catch it because I feel like I keep missing it.
Yeah.
Because I missed it last year too.
It's Memorial Day weekend, which is tough too. So
it is.
Timing. And what you going to do? So I want to hit on this and fire away, no holds barred. I sent you a copy of the Amazon's Fitness magazine.
Oh, yes.
You gave me some comments. Great feedback, by the way. So I want you to go ahead and share that feedback as to what you thought of it when you got the magazine, because I definitely want to shoot you for it. And I need to find out when you're going to fly to North Carolina, since you can fly for free. So anyway, but fire away.
That conversation was so long ago. I remember saying that, first of all, my ad was in there. I love that.
Yes. HeyYourNuts.com.
Exactly. Thank you again for that.
Not at all. You're in there in every issue, in fact.
Yes.
And that's a way to support businesses, women's bodybuilders that are businesses. And of course, we sell the ads as well. But yeah, I was glad to do that.
But my feedback was mostly I liked all the little inserts in the magazine. I still have my magazine. across from me. But my biggest thing was, I know for me entering like the women's bodybuilding world, a lot of the things that didn't really like freak me out, but just like kind of was alarming to me was just like the whole like muscle worship thing. And so I just felt like some of the pictures like kind of catered to it. So so looking at the magazine, like not knowing you and not knowing like your work and stuff like that, that's like just what initially that I thought looking through it.
And the biggest thing about it, I shoot model's choice because
Yes,
it's always the model's choice.
And I remember you told me that.
Yes. And that's the biggest thing because you got to shoot with what's good for your brand. You know, we want to do a photo shoot that you're going to get sponsors, not lose sponsors or get banned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I really appreciate that. It was great. And I was like, okay. And the biggest thing I learned is you got to listen. Listen to.
Well, the world's so sensitive. So like, and of course, I don't attack people. I don't like, the way I feel, the way I move about life is like, do you? Like, if that's what you do, then do you? Like, I can't hate on it. I don't like, that's you. That's not me. So if that's what makes you happy, then exactly. If that's what makes you happy, then do that. Like, I'm all for like, do what makes you happy. Like, if that's what's making you happy, let's do it. It may not be for me, but it's for you, for somebody else. So like, you can't knock that.
Great stuff. Well, the shoot's going to happen in the future, but
it's going to happen
in 2025. And I mean,
it's going to happen. I know
it's so huge that you can fly for free.
Yes, I know. My biggest thing is, and I never feel like ready. So like as I feel like I do that for shows too. I'm just like, oh, I don't feel ready. Oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't feel ready. So that's like my biggest thing. Like I feel like people are looking for like a certain look, or I'm looking for myself to look like something. And so it's just never, as somebody that's just not used to doing photo shoots too, I think I've done like maybe 2 or 3, even speaking on camera at that. This might be like my second speaking.
Well, you're doing great. You present yourself very well.
I appreciate that.
Just roll with it, you know. But yeah, you're doing great, and you're gonna do great on the photo shoot too. And it's all in time and what's good for your brand, and go from there. I mean, I don't care if it's posing with your nut butters or whatnot, but don't put it on your skin though. I can see it. That's really great.
Try not to. I'll try not to.
Don't do that. I want to encourage everyone to go to heyyournuts.com. This is a way that you can easily support a women's bodybuilder that owns a business. And there you go. And you're probably going to, you're really going to love it. Speaking of which, you're going to send me a free sample?
Yes. Send me your address, actually. No, for real. Like, I really do want to send you something. Please send me your address.
Game on. Game on. I'll make sure you get that today.
Got you.
Really appreciate talking to me. One thing we want to hit on before we get out of here. You are the official ambassador for Atlanta FitFest.
Yes.
Tell me what's that about?
So basically ATL FitFest is a festival that's, you know how you have music festivals, you have food festival. Well, nobody really does one for fitness. And so exactly. So the guy that actually came up with the plan, he wanted to do a fitness event where people could not only like network and enjoy like workouts and different like fitness companies, but like still have fun as well too.
Right.
And whether you're like starting a fitness journey or wanting to start, we want it to be for everybody, and we want it to bring like the fitness community in Atlanta together. So if you are in the Atlanta area, surrounding areas, please come out to ATL Fit Fest. It is June 1st. From 12 to 6, I do believe. It's gonna be a lot of fun, workouts, food, fitness. We're doing like a block party afterwards, just so you can just have fun. So come out. I'm sure this will be an annual thing, so we're just going to call this the first annual.
So this is the inaugural year. That's great. Yeah.
Yes.
And where exactly is it in Atlanta?
It's an underground.
Okay. Now, for those that don't know,
Let me Google an address for you.
Well, there's a reason why they call it Hot Atlanta. But I mean, anyway.
This is very true.
And
But no,
you
I
did a
can really
great
Google an address
promo
for you.
that's on your Instagram page, so everybody follow that.
Thanks.
Go buy, purchase your nuts at heyyournuts.com. Various products. I'm definitely gonna get you my address.
Are
Really
you guys ready for this?
Yo.
This underground address?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so it's 50, that's 50, Upper Alabama Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303.
There you go.
Underground
50
Atlanta.
Upper Alabama Street.
Which is historic, so.
Oh, yes. All those is from Atlanta or know anything about Atlanta, they already said, man, I know that. I got that.
You know where underground is. We used to take field trips as kids.
There you go. Exactly. Give me your take on women's bodybuilding, what you've seen so far, and I'll let you get out of here on this one. 7 to 8 more shows left to go. Rising Phoenix.
Yes.
That's going to be a huge show.
Yes. I'm so excited for all of it. I just love to see the sport evolve. I not even just like evolve. I love that there's different moments in time that makes you feel like women's bodybuilding is back.
Yes.
And so I feel like that is the biggest thing. And we just have to get more people to support us.
Yeah. And it's been a great season so far, and still a lot of people left to qualify. Are you going to go to the Atlanta Pro?
Yes, I will be at Atlanta Pro.
Are you going to do a booth, or are you just going to go for the show?
I'm gonna just go for the show. So the thing about the shows, and like me having a booth, the vendor like costs and the price point of my product, I do it myself, and it doesn't allow me to kind of like produce a large amount to like sell because my return isn't as great. So like even if I sell out, I still like may be able to cover like my price, but it's
price
still
of the vendor booth. Yeah.
Yes.
So
absolutely. But one day.
Yeah.
It's all in the cards.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge. Well, all of them will be. Every show from now on is going to be huge.
Yes.
Up until the Olympia, 20 weeks out. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
but I'm excited.
This thing's going to get great. It's going to be great. So
I'm excited to see women's bodybuilding at the Atlanta Pro. Outside of like seeing Olympia and Atlanta Pro last year, I haven't seen many women's bodybuilding shows in person. It's just a different feel, like seeing it in person than like watching like the videos. Like,
oh yeah, there's nothing like being there.
There's nothing like being there in the air and like in the thick of it.
Definitely. Nina, I appreciate you talking to me. Nina Amporful at Nina Beans. HeyYourNuts.com. Please go out and purchase that. You should have a bunch of sales tonight because everybody's gonna be buying it and know what you are.
I just don't ship internationally though.
There you go.
I apologize. I do not ship internationally.
All Cash App, Venmo, all of that, right?
Accepting it all.
Exactly. And if you see her on the plane doing her job, don't get stupid.
Be nice.
Oh, I know her. And ideally, the best case scenario is going on a plane and somebody has a copy of Amazon's Fitness magazine with you on the cover. Boom. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yes, if you're lucky enough to see me on a plane, say, hey, I swear I'm not me.
Really appreciate you. I'll get that address to you right away. Thanks for coming on tonight. Glad we got to do this.
You having me. I know you're like prepping me.
There you go. Because hey,
you're prepping me.
When Olympia TV comes and all those guys come on there, you're gonna be ready. So because you got to get ready to practice that winner speech, you know, that post win interview. And of course, they're gonna get you on Olympia TV as well. So
I'm gonna have it down.
There you go. Thanks. Really appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well. Have a good evening.
You too. Take care. Coming up on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Just off stage at the New York Pro, Marika Jones is joining me. Obviously, lots to talk about the show last week. and everything that happened. She's the winner, of course, of the St. Louis Pro. Already qualified for the Olympia, so looking forward to that. Talking to everything women's physique. And then at 7:30, Amazon-sponsored athlete going her way to the Olympia, the champion of the inaugural Triple O, Teresa Ivancic, and very excited to talk to her. I can't tell you how much I walked around with my chest stuck out to see all three Amazon's Fitness Magazine sponsored athletes going to the O. So great. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. As always, subscribe to the Amazon's Fitness Magazine YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe. And of course, please subscribe to the Amazon's Fit Mag website. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Let's keep it going. And tune in again tomorrow night to make sure that check out and support the women's bodybuilding, of course, to support the podcast as well. And I really appreciate all your support. Again, lastly, go out to heyyournuts.com and buy some of the products that Nina is selling. That's an easy way that you can support a women's bodybuilder by buying their product. That's why I love talking to those that are entrepreneurs. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to Amazon'sFitMag.com. We will see you guys tomorrow night.